Game of Thrones Q Edition, Chapter 6, The Fall of the Four Horsemen, presented by WhatComesNextForYou.com. With your bard from the north, Canadian psychic medium, Tracey Milne. Greetings, friends. When last we left our brave heroes, the King of Trumpets and the Queen of Possibilities, together with the Viking of Valor and the Knights of Q, had just gotten word of an evil plot being arranged by the Straw Man of Draconia and the Queen of Spiders. They had listened in horror and bewilderment as they were told of a minotaur from Metropolis and a magic potion designed to turn living people into cyborgs, designed to enslave the people of Asu and then Terra, changing them into unwilling mutant zombie soldiers. Flying as quickly as they could to the Queen of Possibilities castle in a hidden location somewhere between the Moraine of Mystery and the Sea of Serendipity. And once they were settled comfortably, the Queen of Possibilities called for a meeting in her war room to discuss their options. Now, the war room of the Queen of Possibilities is no ordinary room, which only seems fitting as the Queen is no ordinary queen. And so her new guests were amazed by the limitless devices and advanced technology accessories twirling and swirling in concert with the heavens, and with walls made of thick, dense crystal that radiated a soft light, giving the room and all of its occupants a healthy glow. Using a technology the Queen had been given by her allies in the land of ice, her guests watched in amazement as a map of the world sprang to life before them, moving over the lands of Asu and Terra with a bird's-eye view of their world that was all-encompassing. The king and the Knights of Q watched in amazement as the image pulled in closer and closer, offering an ever clearer overview of their enemies' movements. Before their eyes they saw strange battleships loaded with stone zombie warriors from the lands of the Black Pearl, revealing that while the Trumpet King had been busy battling the Strawman and the Spider Queen, his enemies had been busy positioning themselves in strategic locations all along the southern and northern waterways of Asu, surrounding the kingdom by water, and over land with hordes of zombies, including a few enchanted giants. The image changed again, showing the zombie strawman making a foul deal with 4 evil sorcerers known as the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Their ranks included a deceptively handsome wizard known as the Rude Toad, a sleight-of-hand artist extraordinaire. There was also a wicked albino wizard from the Isle of the White Roses, known as Joris of Bonestown. There was a vile wizard from the lands of the Black Pearl, known as P. Zing, and a despicable wizard from the lands of the Black Sun, known only as the Reaper. These vile ones had all pledged themselves to the straw man, promising to bring pestilence, famine, conflict, and death to the people of Asu and the King of Trumpets in return for a mountain of gold and 10 million slaves. Using their enemies' tactics of divide and conquer against them, a new strategy was soon agreed upon to lure the dark forces straight into a trap, one that would require the King of Trumpets and the brave Knights of Q to use themselves as bait. It was a risky move, but worth getting the upper hand. And so, it was in the days just before the first snow of winter that their next battle began. On the first night, the Queen's army flew to every location where the enemy could be found, and using the Viking of Valor's invisibility technology to cloak themselves, they snuck into the enemy encampments and took every weapon they could find before disappearing into the morning mists. Meanwhile, the King of Trumpets kept the Dark Ones running in circles, trying to put out unexpected fire, as the king used gold-seeking dragons to locate the enemy's gold before exploding it with their dragon fire, leaving nothing but questions for the confused enemy forces before the first rays of dawn had begun to dance in the sleepy sky. They continued on, moving to the Reaper's castle, where they placed a sleeping spell on guard dragons before moving into the castle, coming face to face with an enchanted giant and a patrol of trolls. Walls were smashed like melons as the zombie giant pelted them with massive boulders, while the trolls came at them from every side, trying to slice their flesh with razor-sharp blades and teeth. The general blinded them with a flamethrower just long enough for the tank and the queen to cut off their heads. That left the giant to deal with, dispatching him in quick order, slicing through his thick Achilles tendons, felling the foul beast like a giant tree. Their skirmish awoke a horde of killer bees that began swarming the haunted castle, chasing the queen and her companions down long corridors, but quickly thrown frost grenades froze these minions in their place, just long enough for the queen to find the wizard's spellbook and leap from the highest tower. They barely escaped before the fire that they had set took the entire tower down in one fell swoop. Meanwhile, the plan to lure the enemy into a trap set by the King of Trumpets was working beautifully, and using a spell of confusion on the grounds that he allowed his enemies to overtake, he was able to create havoc within the enemy encampments as the Spider Queen and the Straw Man began to bicker with Rude Toad and Peasing about who would claim the actual crown. Each day, flying monkeys were sent forth to cause confusion and spread information, as each night the Dark Ones gained a larger and larger false sense of security, stepping up their evil plans, sending Joris Bonestown into the lead of the infection program, creating ripples of trauma throughout the lands of the White Rose. Little did the enemy know they were being led straight into a trap the likes of which no one on this world has ever seen before. It was on a moonless night, with only 2 days left before the evil warships were due to dock in Metropolis, when, just before midnight, the Queen of Possibilities and her army took to the skies, flying once again under the cloak of invisibility. At their sides, each of the Queen's soldiers carried a sound technology that amplified the cries from their dragon, eagle, and griffin mounts, creating a sonic blast of frequencies that, when added to the dragon fire, could rearrange the molecular makeup of anything it was fired upon. The Viking of Valor coordinated with them through telepathy, while the brave warrior known as the Tank took the lead, moving our allies into position, waiting, hovering just above where the Dark One's ships floated on the black waters below, about to begin an attack that would forever change the course of history in favor of the forces of good. Then, just as the clock struck 1, the signal was given, and a huge hum like a million droning bees filled the air before a massive boom rang out from the clouds, just as a blinding beam of dragon fire, as bright as the sun, lit up the clouds before being fired into the ships below. It is said the attack was so swift that not even one guard had time to cry out a warning shot, as the powerful sonic weapons all fired in unison. Fires began to burn everywhere as blasts continued to remove first the Dark Fleet's weapon, then the poison potions, then the soldiers, and then the battleships themselves. And for a time, all that could be seen was the fire on the water, mixed with the finite dust clouding the surface, before being swallowed by the waves and gone forever. The Guardians of Light chased the Wizard of the East to his castle, and by the time the Queen and her allies had returned home, they had ensured that Ziping had been liberated of his gold and his magical hands before being locked in his castle, his weapons and dragons now under order to kill him if he moves. And now, the enemy is on the run, as the King of Trumpets and his allies continue to turn up the heat from all sides. The straw man has been captured. His insides exploded by a strained missile. He is now left weakened and wobbly, about to stand trial for his crimes against humanity and the King of Trumpets. The Queen of Spiders has gone into hiding in her secret fortress, as has the wizard from the north, who continues to plot his revenge. Jor's Bonestown is on the run as well, and the Minotaur is in hiding, having been chased there by the giants from the north. And the King of Trumpets, well, he is preparing for what could be his greatest battle yet. Will the King of Trumpets win back his crown? Will the Queen of Possibilities and her allies keep their promise to stop every being hell-bent on enslaving the people of Terra? Will the poison potions be dispersed or destroyed? Who will win the crown, the dark or the light? Stay tuned for our next chapter and find out for yourself what happens next in this Game of Thrones 2020. Until next time, sweet dreams.